Okay, we've been mentioning it for days that Elsa was out there and it has a chance to come our way. And it seems like with the consistency of the forecast, it's a very high expectation, but not everybody will get in on the same level of impact. So that's why we're going to take the next 3 minutes or so to go over these details so you'll have a better understanding of what to expect. Now, the forecast and focus keeps it in the far eastern Gulf of Mexico and then coming into the Swanee Valley or thereabouts, and then beyond that point into your Wednesday evening. So this is going to be a time frame roughly late tomorrow through about mid-afternoon Wednesday from south to north. That's going to be the timing. And here's a closer perspective. So if you know your place on the map, pick it out, and we'll help guide you as far as the timing of everything. Tomorrow, scattered rain activity is likely to develop even in the morning outside of any direct rain bands from the tropical storm. I do think by tomorrow evening we can start to get the outer bands starting to affect the coastal areas, and that could also drive some rain activity inland. Now into Wednesday morning, that's when the actual core of the system gets closer to the region. Here's where we're looking at as far as that west to east split. Western areas, Lake Seminole counties, not a whole lot of activity. Based on this projection in the forecast and focus, we'll have the heaviest rain roughly from Jefferson County to the east, and that's where the strongest winds are likely to be as well. We'll talk about the wind forecast in just a moment. But the circulation is set to go across the I-75 corridor, and again, this is an estimation based on our projections, but this can be swayed one way or another. But this is the general idea. If you're along I-75, that's where you'll have at least a greater chance to have the core of the system moving over your region. So Swanee River, Osceola, Withlacoochee River, Alapaha River. Those will be the zones to really watch out for. Rainfall totals through tomorrow, not too excessive. But then when that shield of heavy rain comes through, a heavy painting of the highest rain totals across the eastern half of the region. We can see some locally heavier amounts across the central and western zones, but it looks like the most widespread rain impact will be in our eastern regions. Now, when it comes to wind gusts and sustained winds, the National Hurricane Center highlights the Swanee Valley and the I-75 South Georgia region with the highest probability, about right now 40 to 50%, to encounter tropical storm force winds. That would be winds of at least 40 miles per hour, sometimes sustained winds of that level. Here's some of the projections based on our forecasting systems, where we can see by Wednesday mid-morning around 30 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, mostly to the east of the capital region. Even within the Tallahassee metro, we can have some wind gusts upwards of 30, but it seems like that's going to be the main core across south central, southeast Georgia, the Swanee River, and northeast Florida, where the strongest wind gusts can occur. So we do have to monitor that every hour to hour to hour once we start noticing the system beginning to move up the Florida west coast. Now, along with the winds, there can be the bump up of the water levels. And right now, the projections based on our exclusive analytics products showing that we can have water levels increasing by about 1 to 3 feet. I do think maybe around 2 to 4 feet, especially in these eastern sections of Taylor and perhaps Dixie County coastal areas. Higher storm surge potential as you move along the Nature Coast. And yes, there's more. We have to monitor the risk for those spin-up tornadoes on the outer band. Not so much of a severe weather risk for us for tomorrow, but I do suspect on Wednesday we could have a little more of a risk, especially near and east of I-75. And boating, you can kind of forget about after tomorrow morning. Tropical Storm Watch being upgraded to a warning, so it's not advised to go out until this thing goes through. I do believe by the end of this week, that's when we'll have improving weather for boating and any other outdoor weather conditions, just a return of scattered thunderstorms by the end of the week and average temperatures.